Let your blood cover us, Lord. Remember our families, Lord. The requests that went up on the day, Lord. Every song, every praise that was offered up to you today, Lord. We be so careful to give your name the honor and praise is due to you, Lord. Save us. Save us, Lord. Let your blood cover, Lord. Bless your word on the day. Speak to your people, our God, and comfort their hearts and their minds, Lord. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. There's only one way to God. Matthew 7, chapter, starting at verse number 13. And it said, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Straight is the gate. That straight gate is narrow. You got to be fully committed, God conscious, have a godly fear, and be focused. It's narrow. There's no plan. You can't have a whole high doses of carnality. This is a narrow, this way is not, look here, it ain't no whole lot of plan this way. There's no whole lot of all this 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This way is not, that's the narrow. This is when you look at the narrow. When it say enter into the straight gate, when you look at that straight gate, this is a narrow way. Yeah. This line is narrow. It don't give you no whole lot of room to be doing all this mess that this flesh is driving you and pushing you to do. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So I'm telling you now, you got to choose on that. You got to choose what you want to do. You can't put everything in front of, you can't put nothing in front of God. But we put everything in front of what that's our spiritual priorities. And verses saying, hey, I'm going to put you on the back burner and put God first. Narrow, straight. That gate is straight. Yes. It said wide. Then it says wide is the gate. What's wide? It's letting you know that it's durable, it's stable, it's firm, it's strong, it's tough, sound, it's fixable, it's reliable. You got to be all of those things. You can get in there. It's wide. You can get it. It's wide enough where you can get in there. You can do it. It might be a narrow gate, it might be a narrow path to go down, but you can get down there. Yes. But you got to be those things. You got to know that this way, this holiness way, is durable. Because if it wasn't, God wouldn't have this way. It's durable, but you got to be stable and firm and strong in God. Yes. You got to be tough. You got to be sound. Yes, you got to be reliable. God's calling for somebody that's reliable. What's reliable? Somebody that's going to stand up when everybody is saying, man, I like this popular way. But somebody, God is looking for somebody. And I'm telling you that he always going to have somebody that's going to stand up and say, listen, for God I live and for God I die. There's only one way to God. You can try whatever way you want it. You can do it however way you want to do it. I'm telling you now, there's only one way to him. And you got to go through him to get where you're going. When you want to see God in peace, there's only one way. You got to go through him. No matter how you do it, you got to go through God. Hallelujah. It's straight. That gate is straight. It's straight. It said, but lead to destruction, and many there be which go in that. Destruction. We know destruction is what? It's when you get destroyed. You're lost. Yes, Lord. You want to be lost. You come down this way of holiness. You didn't heard the word. You was taught right. Somebody, listen here, when we first get saved, we get spoon-fed. You can't get spoon-fed all your whole saved life. It's time for you to start feeding somebody else. As time go on, it's time for you to help somebody else. We get spoon-fed all. Listen, when you don't ever get off the milk, you got to get off that milk sooner or later and eat meat. You look at those lines, those clubs, they eat, them clubs be real young. young. And I'm telling you now, when you look at that kingdom, that Lion Kingdom thing, those clubs, they want to eat that, they drink that milk maybe twice out the week, but the rest of those days, they want some meat. At little clubs, they want some meat. Why? They're meat eaters. They meat eaters. That's what they want. And we should have a hunger and thirst after some real meat that God, not just some milk. You sitting around and I'm telling you now, here we are, we saved 15, 20 years, and you still want to be spoon-fed, you still want some milk. No, what's wrong? Come on, you got to get up. You got to get up. It's time now to eat real good now. It's time to really get fed like you're supposed to be fed. Why? You got to be strong. You got to be fixed. You got to be reliable to do that thing. I'm telling you now, there's a way that seems right unto man. Man, that's man. That's man. Now, verse number 14 said, but because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. That's sad. God died for all of us. He died for all of us. But because straight is the gate, only because it's so narrow, because it's a narrow walk, because I'm not able to cut up and act up and sin and tell all my lies and fornicate and commit adultery. You can go to clubs and parties and things like that because I can't do this and that. It says, which leadeth unto life, and few. See, that straight gate and that narrow way which leadeth unto life. That's life. What life? What? Life everlasting. Yes. And few there be that find it. It doesn't mean you don't know to go that way. You haven't found yourself the way you're supposed to be. You haven't found your way in the house of the Lord. You haven't found your way on your knees. You haven't found your way to pray and to fast and seek God and concentrate yourself like you should. That's how you find it. You have rejected to do that. Not because you don't know, it's because you have put yourself in a predicament where that I'm going to try to do this and that before I put God in that. We put God in it last. No, you got to put God in it first. Amen. He said, beware. We talked about this earlier today. He said, beware of false prophets. Man, we got false prophets all over this world, which come in sheep clothing. That's talking about you, that saved, lying, and I'll tell you now, this in this thing for prosperity, this for worldly gain. Beware of false prophets which come in sheep clothing, but inwardly they are raven wolves. Ain't nothing but a wolf. Raven wolves. I'm telling you now, that's one that I'm telling you now, boy, I ain't got nothing but deceit in their heart. They look good though. They look up the part. They know how to talk. They know how to present it to you. They know what to say. They know how to quote that word. But ain't no more raven wolves. They get you right there where they want you. They got your attention. That's why I tell you, I taught on something about use your discernment. You gotta use your discernment. Once that discernment hits you and tell you, you better use your way on the way. Go on the way. You go on the way. I know we talk some more time. I'm telling you, you got to be bold. You got to be bold. We'll talk about it. We talk. I see you. I'm gonna run on down here somewhere. That's what I'm getting. What you do? I'm getting on away from you. See, and when you look at this with false prophet, you got to understand when somebody walk up to you and tell you, God said He gonna do such and such for you. But when they tell you, but you got to do such and such, he's not a prophet. They're not a prophet. You don't have to do anything when somebody prophesied over you. Nothing. You have to do anything. You were sent from God. I don't have to do nothing. You prophesying over me. Yes. You telling me that God said He was going to heal me. Now, if God don't heal me in a time, you tell God, Y'all will hear me next week. If you ain't healed next week, you know that he ain't a blind prophet. And guess what? We got them right here among us. And I'm not talking about just church per se. I'm talking about in this world, in the United States. We got them. We have them. When people walk up to you and tell you something in a minute, you got to be careful. You got to be focused. You got to know that there's only one way to God. I ain't telling nobody like that, to walk up to you like that. You got to be careful. You got to be very, very careful, saints of God. I'm telling you now, keep your eyes open, spiritual eyes I'm talking about now. See that demon fall off, for he swallow you up, get you in the places you shouldn't be. You can't get out that web. You can't get out that trap. You got to know, you got to really know, for God I live and for God I die. There's only one way to God. You have to put that in your mind. You got to be fully committed to God, knowing to know that. You got to have a prayer and fast life to know that. People tricking you. He said, ye should know them by their fruits. They ain't got no fruit. They ain't got nothing. You know that it just sound good. Everything that sound good, smell good, look good, it ain't good. Amen. He said, do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? He said, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Man, this is so plain and simple. This is self-explanatory. You know, if it ain't from God, it ain't bringing forth no good fruit. But see, we jump to a lot of times to conclusion and not allowing God for things to play out the way God wanted to do. We as people of God, and especially me, sometimes you got to let things go on and let it go on, even though it grieves you, it angers you, but you got to let it go on until God tell you when. Until God see fit to move that person or to move that thing. Why? There's only one way to God. He said a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. No way possible. He said neither can a corrupt fruit bring forth good fruit. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. You from God? You're anointed by God? There's going to be some good fruit on that tree. Sheep clothing. Sheep clothing. Up there preaching and teaching and all. Sheep clothing. But ain't from God. Not from God, though. Bad fruit. What's wrong? Heart is bad. Spirit is bad. And sometimes God won't let that thing play out right then and there. He'll let it go on. We got to see that. Sometimes I'm telling you, man, there's been times in my life since I've been here, I said, boy, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something not right. And it takes you, and you heard me on numerous occasions say, I've got to fast. Because you see things. God show you things. And you get things that hit your spirit. You discern things. You got to tell you now, you got to take it to Jesus. I'm not my own. I got to take it to Jesus. Lord, help me. I see, Lord. I'm looking at this thing, and my spirit is not connecting the way it should be connecting to with this person or with that person. David, great man, great king. The greatest king of Israel. Lord, can I go up? He had to ask God, and he asked God every time. Can I go up and fight them? God would give him permission to go. That's still, we still have to do that. Because it seems right. That don't mean that it's right to do. That don't mean that he wants you to do it. Because it's right in our hearts, in our minds. But God, you might do it that exact way that you have in mind. But God may want you to wait because it's July, he might say, oh, listen, I want you to wait till August. He might want you to wait till the months to come. But you know one thing, because you think, though, well, this is going to fix this, or this is going to make this thing right, I'm going to go and step out now and do it. And God, because now you haven't acknowledged God to do anything. You haven't said up to God, but because it sounds right, because it seemed the right thing to do, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And God is telling you, God, and if you have spoke to God, God will tell you, no doubt, wait! And wait does not mean no. It means just that. Wait. I'm telling you now, it's a blessing for God to tell you wait. Because wait to me means to listen here. He's going to eventually probably tell you yes, because he's telling you to wait. If he don't want you to do it, he'll probably just tell you no. But the fact that he told you to wait until your change comes. But I'm telling you now, we as people, we move, oh Lord, we move in front of God all the time. Why? Because we don't want to hear what God gonna say. God is not gonna do it the way I want to do it. You got that right. Hallelujah. He ain't no ordinary man that he gonna do it the way we gonna do it. You got to seek God in everything that you do. You got to acknowledge God in every way that you do, everything that you're doing, everything that you do. Seek God. The devil, he loves. The devil, he'll tell you now, Satan himself, he loves when you step on the line and go before God. No doubt looking and laughing and said, yeah, got one. But when you wait on God, they waited on God in Babylon for 70 years. Lord, this is a long time. This is a long test. Tired of waiting, Lord. But you got to put your trust in God. What's wrong with waiting? There is only one way to go. You waited because I'm bringing you out. You waited because I'm molding and making you into that man of God, that woman of God that you called for me to be. That's why you waited. And you bust around, you go before God, and now you cry, Lord, take this thing off me. And he lifts this thing off of you, or only for a season to put that chest back on you. Wait on him. And then when he puts that thing back on you, you fall out because you wouldn't wait at first. Wait on God. You gotta wait on him. You gotta wait on him. There's only one way to him. One way to him. You don't have to go through a lot of times in life. We don't have to go through a test over and over and over again. We go through it because we don't pass it the first time. Open our mouth up and mess the test up. Or you do something that you shouldn't have done to mess that test up. And now here it come back again. And boy, I'm telling you now, it'll flatten you out. Wait on him. There's only one way to God. There's only one way to God. You gotta wait on him. You gotta wait on him. Let me get this here. He said, every tree, he said, that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. Every fruit that bringeth not forth good fruit is cut down. It's cut down. It's cut down. It's cut down. It's cut down. Yes, Lord. It looks good. It smells good, but it ain't good. It's cut down. That tree is rotten in the inside. It's going to wither away. It's got to wither away. It don't belong to God. It's not God's plan. It's not a part of God's plan. There's only one way to God. It's cut down. It's healed away. I'm telling you now, God's going to cut it down. God's going to destroy it. He said they cast into the fire. Everlasting destruction. Jesus, help us, Lord. You're going to a place of no return. Mother, some was sent and some went. You went, you answer to God. If you went, you answer to God. You can't just go. God got to send you. God got to send you. What's your prayer? If you go, what's your prayer? What you gonna tell God when everything seems to go wrong, when the seats are empty? What you gonna tell God then? Lord, can you help me? You went on your own. Don't doubt. But when God sends you, you can put that on God. Lord, help me. God will show you what to do. He put in my heart to come up here and pray for this church. Offer it up to him. Sacrifice. There's a sacrifice when you drive an hour and a half on Wednesday to come up here. There's a sacrifice when you drive an hour to come up here on Sundays. But guess what? That's why I say it's not about money. It's about living for God, knowing that you've been sent. What's wrong, Pastor? There's only one way to God. There's a duty. There's a great duty that's here. There's a great duty here. There's a great call here. And everybody don't want this call. People want things that's already built up. Ain't there a lot to tell you that? I wanted that over there that was built up. He wanted it over there. Abraham said, "You can go ahead. You can choose which one you want. Whatever side you want, I'll take the other." Lot looked and said, "My goodness, Solomon Garage is built up. They got everything over there. It looked good. It's got green grass and everything else. I'm gonna take that side. Go ahead on." There's only one way. Lot had a choice. It's so sad. God, the Bible called Lot a righteous man. Righteous, blind, choosing the wrong way. And the thing about when you look at Lot didn't even want to leave that place. They almost had to take him and just drag him out of that place. You see all the destruction that's going around Lot. These men trying to tear your door down to get to the men in the house. It was angels. Those angels had to blind those men that was from the other persuasion. That's why you got to look at this word. That's why you got to understand this word. It's not an overnight thing. I said earlier in Sunday school, there was two facts. When we looked at the Bible class, the fact, you got to be a lover of the word to see it. The fact was, Mother Webster said, that he believed there was service. That was a fact. That Job thing, it was service going back. Brother Winston said that he believed that it was fire coming from, it came down, the Bible said it came down from heaven. It was Satan. That's a fact. It was Satan. What I had to do, I went back and looked at it. No doubt at all, it was Satan. I'm going to get to it. Then if you search your Bible, you will find that God allows Satan to rain down fire on numerous occasions. Yes. What part of heaven he was in? Where did the fire come down from? We got to understand there's layers of heaven. It didn't come down from God's throne. That's what we take away from heaven. No, there's heavens. That's what we talk about. Verse number 20 says, "Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them." You should know them. "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that do the will of my Father which is in heaven." He said, "Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, and have we not prophesied in that name? And in that name has cast out devils, and that name done many wonderful works." Here God allowed it. He allowed it to happen. He allowed it to happen for you that don't want to walk right, you that don't want to talk right. Heaven, that you don't want to be, you that don't want to be a prepared people for a prepared place. I'm telling you, man, look at the word, look at Revelation. you that these things are going to happen. These things are going to come to pass. The Antichrist, God going to allow a strong delusion for we that the people, and I ain't going to say we because it ain't me. I'm Lord, I'm going to do all I can do to strive. I ain't speaking that on me. But people that don't want to do right and live for God, that's what's going to happen to them. It's going to happen. He said, many will say in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in that name have cast out devils, and in that name done many wonderful works. He said, and then will profess unto them, I knew you, I never knew you. Depart from me. It ain't that Lord ain't never knew you, never knew them. He know who you are. Yes. But I don't know how you went. That wasn't what I sent you to do. You went. I don't know about your works that you. How you gonna do some works for me and I ain't send you nowhere? He said, ye that worketh in iniquity. He said, therefore, whosoever hears these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. You got to build on Jesus. Yes. This rock is Jesus. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat up upon that rock, that house, and it fell not, for it was found upon a rock. He said, and everyone that hears these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. He said, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Jesus. It ain't gonna just be a fall, great fall. The Bible says, talks about all liars should have their part in the lake of fire. Some going to be beat with stripes, and some going to be beat with many stripes. You know the ones that's going to be many stripes is the one that's sitting up here and trying to declare what thus said the Lord, or in the church and claiming to be saved and living just like the devil. You're going to be beat with many stripes. You know better. Yes. And you came through this way. I told you the Bible, when you look at this Bible, for the most part, this word is talking to the church. 99% of this word is talking to the church. That 1% is talking to the sinner man, telling the sinner man to repent. Israel was God's people. We that say we are God's people. And this word is trying to remind us how to act. It said, and it came to pass when Jesus had entered these saying, the people was astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. You know those scribes, boy, they studied the law. You know Israel. He was a scribe. He was well versed in Moses' law. Well versed. They wrote those transcripts and things. Those scribes, they wrote it for God. But see, there's a difference. Let me tell you like this here. Here you got a preacher. He's gifted. Boy, he can talk well. He can speak well. He ain't stumbling like me over easy words. But he well versed, and he know how to put that thing. Can I tell you something? That's the scribes. But for me, I'm asking God, I'd rather be anointed than be a motivational speaker. I'd rather have the anointing of God on me anytime than be a gifted speaker. I came to a place in my life that I know I ain't going to be popular. Why you ain't going to be popular? Because I'm preaching holiness. I want people to be saved. I ain't counting your pockets. I ain't counting your account. I'm looking for you to be saved in the end. And that's what God's calling calling for. God is calling for holiness.
Thank you, Jesus.
Holiness. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end there are the ways of death. It's death. What's death? That's death. When you look at that death right there in that verse, it's talking about the death of destruction.
Yes.
Men. Wicked men. Man thinking. Matthew the 24th chapter, verse number 13 said, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. There's only one way to God. Count up the cost to live for Jesus. You got to count up that cost. When you look at life, a lot of times we ain't counting that cost up. We ain't counting it up. We don't count it up. But you got to count up the cost to live for God. We ain't counting it up. We don't understand what's all involved with that, with meeting Jesus at peace. But there's a cost. I'm telling you now, Holy Ghost is free. But there's a cost to stay saved. There's a cost. There's a cost. Struggling. Mentally and physically struggling. Heartaches and pain. Sunshine and rain. One day we're going to be able to say, I made it.
Yes.
I made it.
Yes, Lord.
He that endure, he that continue on down this road of holiness,
Yes.
the same shall be saved. You got to endure. You got to endure hardness as a good soldier. I'm telling you now, we got to endure that. And everything that's being, that I'm telling you that we're going through in life right now. No matter where it come from, what side it come from, you got to endure that. If you want to see Jesus, if you really want to see God in peace, when you look at life, I'm telling you now, there's only one way to God. Crossroad, crossroad, crossroad. You standing there. Look at that definition and tell you there's a crucial decision that must be made. This is your life. This is your soul that's going to live forever. When you leave this place, the second you leave this place, your soul is going somewhere. I'm telling you now, it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. Your soul is going to spend eternity somewhere. Somewhere. You're going to know that you did. You're going to live forever. You're going to live forever. I'm telling you now. We're living now we're living now to live again. Your soul, you're going to live somewhere. There's going to be somewhere you're going to live. Imagine you waking up and you realize you're not here. You're not here on what we call earth. You're alert. Jesus. Jesus. It's too late to call him if you ain't lived the way you're supposed to live. Call him now while you still on earth, while you still got the activity of your limbs.
Yes.
You might be incapacitated, but if you can still open your mouth of it, you might be incapacitated, but if you can just still think on Jesus.
Yes.
You might can't wave your hand, you might can't talk, but if you can just think on Jesus. I heard that song where they said, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, my soul cries out. Not my mouth, but my soul cries out, hallelujah. Giving God the highest praise. Thank you, Jesus. My soul cry Jesus. When we get down to the darkest hour in our life, we gotta let our soul cry out, hallelujah. I thank God for saving me. Through all of my ups and downs in my life, disappointments, Lord, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Pain on every side. Disappointment out of disappointment in my life. But I still say, hallelujah anyhow. Why? Because there's a way. There's only one way to God. There's only one way to God. God is saying today, choose to live again. Choose to live again. Don't get distracted. Don't get sidetracked, saints. It's all in God's hand. Put your life in the potter's hand. And I'm telling you, man, when you put your life in the potter's hand, let him mold you and make you the way he want to do it.
Yes.
I can be first to tell you, it ain't gonna feel good. It ain't gonna be the way that you want it. It ain't gonna be the way that I'm telling you, man, that we think it should be. There's a way. There's only one way to God. God bless you. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Keep moving forward. Let God help us.
Yes.
Let God help us. God is doing something here. And I'm telling you, the more I pray, the more I don't understand it.